How's it going, you guys, and welcome to Morning Cup. Start today off with a very special episode regarding the Myanmar coup. Now things have gone from bad to worse to downright ridiculous in Myanmar. People are being shot left, right and center as we know it. Now facts dictate that peaceful protest and a right to assembly and a freedom of speech is unilaterally accepted throughout the globe when it comes to a democracy. And any person in any way, shape or form when tries to dictate the fact that freedom of speech is not supposed to be out there, that people cannot express their concerns, people cannot express their feelings, is merely trying to get you to comply with their views rather than you having a voice of your own. The dictatorship in Myanmar and the coups that are now currently in place is exactly that. Up until the year 2011, we saw that Myanmar was dominated by a coup that was ruthless, that was known for its bloodshed, that did not care about what its people had to say, what its people wanted. And now, since 9 years since the coup ended, we are looking at another coup for the people of Myanmar. People of Myanmar are not going to take this standing down. As we have seen on numerous occasions, people of Myanmar have tried to protest peacefully, only to be met with bullets, met with water cannons, met with tear gas, and now met with live rounds that has killed numerous protesters on numerous occasions. People have been shot in the head and killed. People have been shot in the arms and in the legs and severely injured. People have been shot without any warnings in place. The fact of the matter is that this dictatorship that is currently unfolding in Myanmar is just that. It's a dictatorship, and the Myanmarese coup leaders who dictate that this is a stride to save democracy are being called out on it on an international scale. The United Nations has put out a statement dictating the fact that if the coup in Myanmar does not adhere to the laws of human nature and does not adhere to the rights of human beings across the spectrum, and does not understand the fact that there is a grander scale of things at play here regarding people or nations that might not necessarily want what's best for Myanmar but might want what's best for them instead by using Myanmar as a proxy of sorts. There are a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and yet there are a lot of facts out there that the UN has recognized. You see, crimes against humanity and atrocities committed in Myanmar are no joke. People are being abducted from the streets, activists are being chased down, and now with facial tracking and hacking software that are now landed in Myanmar, people are being tracked down to their places of origin, people are being tracked down to their homes, people are being tracked down through their mobile phones, through their social medias, through whatever be the case. This hack, this exploitation of facial tracking software that China so abundantly uses in its own regime, if you will, is now being used in Myanmar by the coup leaders. What we understand from this is the fact that the coup leaders by no way, shape or form care about their own bloodshed of their own people, the people that are on the streets protesting, demanding a free and true democracy in Myanmar. No one cares about that. The only thing that they care about is being in power, sitting in power, adhering to the sheer royalties that are at Myanmar's disposal, considering that it's a government, that it's a nation that had its own treasury. All of that money that is currently onshore in Myanmar is now being used by the coup leaders for whatever they deem necessary. The United Nations has also said that crimes against humanity and war crimes are now possibly going to be taken into account for the coup leaders. You see, they try to play it very smart by not appointing one particular general or one particular person who's going to be in charge of the coup. They said that it's a unilateral effort by the military of Myanmar, but that's just ridiculous considering that there is obviously a higher circle at play here. Even if the military is considered to be just that, the military commanders are a circle of commanders. There is a limited amount of people that are at play here that are making all of these calls, that are asking the police officials, that are asking the militaries that are on the streets to use live ammunition and shoot down people that are merely doing protests, and that's about it. What we understand as a civilization today is that this is atrocity, this is just plain shunning down of the people for their views, and this is not trying to save democracy. This, by all specs of the imagination, is democracy dying, and we as a species are just sitting idly by watching it die. You see, if Myanmar falls and if the vacuum that is created in Myanmar is filled by a dictatorship that has a higher power to it in terms of a country that it pledges allegiance like it has tried to pledge allegiance to numerous times earlier, we are going to look at a country that has used a coup to annex another entire nation. We saw the same thing happen to Crimea with Russia. And now with Myanmar and China's so-called close affiliation with them, we are watching it turn out to be the exact same thing in a different format. A thing that has got higher and bigger repercussions than we can even comprehend right now. But if we just sit idly by and ignore and let things flow the way they are flowing, you can best believe that the coup in Myanmar is going to lead to something bigger. Save democracy. I'll see you tomorrow.